What's going on, everybody? David here from Bluckers Videos and Toys, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Jurassic World Epic Evolution Wild War Ekrixinatosaurus and Gryposuchus. Now, again, these are two brand new species to the line that I have no earthly idea about. This is my first introduction to these particular species. But yeah, so very excited to add new species to the collection, even if I don't know anything about them, which is okay because it's a chance for me to get a chance to know these particular species and see what they're all about. All right, so this is your basic styled Wild War packaging, and let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. And as we can tell, that the Ekrixinatosaurus is in the mountain biome, and then the Gryposuchus is placed in the river biome. Alright, so now we got the Ekrixinatosaurus. I think that's how you pronounce it. I can't even remember. It's such a long name. So forgive me if I mispronounce it throughout the review or whatever. But yeah, so we finally got it out of it packaging, and the only thing I really know about this species is it's part of the Belasauridae family, and those are, like I mentioned before when I reviewed other species from the Belasauridae family, they're like the bulldogs of the time period, the time when they came out. And this lived pretty much in the late Cretaceous period, and it was also found in Argentina. But that's about it. I do like the sculpting of this, like the molding. I don't think it had horns. I think that was just the add-on. It's like a mini demon carnotaur. But they did get the arms right, because a lot of times, a lot of the previous Belasauridae that Mattel had produced, they didn't have arms like that. So some of the carnotaurs that they had arms, but the other species, I think the Majungasaurus had arms like this, but I think a couple other species didn't. They just had a little bit longer arms, but which is inaccurate. But hey, it's Jurassic World. What do you expect? We're not going for accuracy here. But anyways, this is pretty much accurate to what it's supposed to look like. Again, this is one of the figures that suffers from a lack of paint, but the molding looks great as per usual. I like how they did it. Got a kind of a fat body, but they still added some muscle definition to it. Like the wrinkling of the tail, how they molded that in, stomach and around the shoulders. You can tell it's a weighty figure, which actually really is a weighty figure. But I do like the wrinkling here at the shoulders right there, and then here in the hind legs and stuff. So great muscle definition there on this side, especially right there. Got the osteoderms all along the legs and in the back, especially here on the shoulder area and in the back of the head. And then I wanted to tell. So then as far as the eye placement goes, very small, but it looks where it's supposed to be, so that looks about normal. Then here on this side, same thing. Yeah, looks pretty good. And I do like the teeth. The teeth look great. Like I said, I do like the fact that they're starting to use the teeth as a separation piece. So that's I guess that's probably where the money goes to. That's why we don't have no paint. It's because the teeth look so good. They most of the money went to the teeth instead of the paint. So, but yeah, the only paint that we have really is just the striping pattern that we got along the back of the neck and all the way here, halfway to the middle of the back. That's about it, except for the airbrushing here under the neck. The creamy color, and then of course the head, but still, it's still not enough. It doesn't warrant what you're paying for, but no, it is what it is, But I do like the head sculpt a lot. They got the roundness of the head sculpt where it's supposed to be, so that's how it's supposed to look, you know. And with minus the horns, I don't think this particular species had the horns, but I do appreciate it. Kind of gives off that dragon-esque kind of vibe to it. Look at all the horns along the head. That's pretty cool. Now, if they could have added a little paint to the horns, then that would have been nice, you know. You know, if you're going to just give us a couple of stripes, you know, at least paint the horns. But overall, I love the head sculpt. It's amazing. But that's about it as far as the figure itself, you know. Alright, so with the way of articulation, and before we get to that, let's go ahead and give the people what they want. And that's the FACSAT code right there. So, then, you know, you got as usual, forwards and backwards, hind legs. So, and then get the inner thigh right there. This one's a little stuck right there. But yeah, the inner thigh right there. And then the arms on a ball and hinge. So, out, not very much because you can't move there. But then the forwards, backwards. So, very cool. And so here's the figure. Let me go ahead and get it posed up where it's supposed to be. So again, you know, you got the rolling thing as the gimmick. There have been some people that, you know, they tell Mattel their preference. Some are okay with this, but I think the majority, you know, they like the puppeteering. They like where you can puppeteer the back of the tail and move the head forwards and backwards and stuff, you know. That's probably, I think, from what I've seen and read and the reviews I've watched, I think a lot of people prefer the puppeteering gimmick over the ball or the press down, where you press down and they do the action gimmick and, you know, all the other stuff that we've gotten in the past. But this is cool. It's different, you know. All right. Let's go ahead and let's see. So, again, I like the roars. It's nice. Probably just another reuse of other species that they took from. My only thing is, I think right here, without the proper stance, because it is a weighty figure, all the weight is right here. Surprisingly, that it is holding up, but I think over time, the legs might. That's my thing. You see how it droops a little bit? Maybe that's how it's supposed to look. But just trying to make sure I got both feet planted firmly on the ground. Alright. So, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, you know, with other species that lived in the same time period. So, first one up, we have the Edmontosaurus, which clearly the Edmontosaurus should be 5 times as big as this thing, because this is pretty much like a baby, like a kid. You know, the Edmontosaurus should be like bigger than the T-Rex. You know, that's how huge they were. Then another species that it lived alongside in the same time period is the Troodon, or Troodon, or however you want to pronounce it. So, very cool. And here we have it next to a human, and it's pretty much right. Like I said, they're medium-sized carnivores. You know, they are the bulldogs of the carnivores. So, looks about right. Not too bad. All right, let's go on to the next one. And finally, we have the Gryposuchus. Gryposuchus. I was about to say Gryphosaurus. Gryphosaurus is a duck-billed dinosaur, so this is Gryposuchus. So, but yeah, this is a larger species of crocodilian, and it's basically, found in South America, like Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, along with the Peruvian Amazon, and this is pretty much the first time that I can recall, I could be wrong, that this is the first species that we got that lived in the Miocene era. So this was after the dinosaurs. So the Miocene era is pretty much where we get like actual mammals, things like that, So, and fortunately, I don't have anything from the Miocene era besides this to compare it to. So I'm a little thin on that area. So this is my first actual species from that particular era. So I don't really have anything to compare it to from that. But we do have another crocodilian that I want to compare it to here in a little bit. But anyways, yeah, so that's where it's from, around South America. It was found in South America. And I really do like this. This is a very uniquely different. I do like how they have it stand. It's like it's just chilling, Very simplistic. I wasn't really expecting a whole lot to be colorful like I would expect for other species like dinosaurs and stuff. But this does work. I do like the aesthetics on this thing, and of course you get that 3 little stripes right here. That's about as far as extra paint you have, besides the airbrushing for the underbelly, and get the creamy orange, like a sherbet coloration at the bottom, and you get this real dark charcoal gray coloration, for the main body and head. And I love the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks awesome, I do like the teeth, like I said, most of the budget went to the teeth, which is cool, which is a lot better than, just having the molded teeth on the head sculpt and painted and to be all sloppy and stuff. So I do like the fact that they do, if they was going to give up something, I do like appreciate the fact that the teeth look a whole lot more presentable, easy on the eyes to look at compared to what we had before. But it's like a give or take type of thing. So let's go ahead and get this. So for those who need that, there you go. So very simplistic. I do like the spines that they gave it, the spikes, so do like that. Very cool. Looks very nice. So it's not much to it, it's a crocodile. It's a crocodile species, and so that's pretty much about it as far as that goes. Not a whole lot of definition. Kind of a little. And this is a little weighty too. This is heavy as well. Surprisingly. But like I said, I like how they have it at that crouching position where it's just chilling at the riverbanks and stuff. So. Awesome detail, not much definition, just a little bit, around the stomach region, but that's about all you're gonna get, for that. And as far as articulation goes, movement to tail, all the way around, then the legs, forwards, backwards. Don't know, yeah, you get a little bit of inner thigh movement there, a little bit. But yeah, then you get the shoulders, ball and hinge at the shoulders, forwards and backwards. So, and then as far as the head sculpt with the eyes, that looks great right there. And not so much there. So, it looks like the pupil's all the way back there. I can't even, it's like it's blind. So, you basically got a good eye point there, and then nothing there. It's just a yellow spot with no pupil, So it's blind in its one of its eyes. All right, so And then as far as the action gimmick here, the wheel. So I actually do like the sounds. That sounds more like what a crocodile would sound like. I don't think the first couple of sounds, but I think towards the end with that hissing, I think that's how it would sound like in real life. Kind of like that. Not that. Not that. More like that. So like two of them found it really good, you know, kind of. Then the other two, no, not so much. So, but anyways, so let's go ahead and go on to the size comparisons. So we're going to compare it to one of the larger crocodiles species that we have, and this is the Gryposuchus. So as you can tell, if we just move this, that this is a little bit smaller than the Gryposuchus, which is about right. This wasn't a very big one like the Dinosuchus or the Gryposuchus or anything like that. That's another one that we need. We need a Dinosuchus, and hopefully it could be a little bit bigger than these two if we do get one. We should, because that would be awesome. It should be one of those larger figures, you know. But anyways, but yeah, so this is really cool. I really do like the scaling on this. All right, so let's go ahead and move Sarco out, and we'll bring in our human counterpart. So should be a little bit bigger, but it's almost in scale of what it's supposed to be. All right, so there y'all have it, and that wraps up this review as far as that goes. So I hope y'all enjoyed this film as much as I did filming it, and let me know in the comments below what's your favorite. Do you like the Gryposaurus or the Ekrixinatosaurus? I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. Some of these names are just like, they stump me. So I guess it's a valid attempt on my part. But anyways, yeah, so which one is your favorite of the two? And don't forget, words of wisdom. Buy what you love and not what you like, because if you buy what you like, always end up getting rid of it. And I will catch y'all later.